Well, good evening, everyone. I was off screen there for a second.
Mhm.
Yes, it's me, Kenny K, saying good evening, everyone. Kurt's running a few minutes late. He will be with us shortly, but the rest of the gang is here. And yes, it is a Monday. It's not New York Giants talk. It's not uh, New York, New York. It's the K&K Sports Show. And I'm here with my good friends, Carson and Paul. Carson, how are you doing today? And let me be the first to wish you a happy early birthday. I hear someone's celebrating a birthday
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Yeah, thanks, Kenny. Yeah, appreciate it. Good to be on the show with you guys tonight. And yeah, Stanley Cup's going on. Got a good show tonight. And then NBA draft is 2 days away. So looking forward to it.
Absolutely. And my sidekick on Mondays, my co-host for New York Giants football talk, my co-host for New York, New York, and of course my co-host for K&K Sports Show, Mr. Rosen. How you doing this evening?
Good. Thanks, Kenny. Good evening, guys. Happy birthday. I'll second the
Thanks, Paul.
motion. Carson, enjoy. Have a great special day tomorrow, and hope you have a good day. And great to be here as usual with the usual cast of characters, and looking forward to a very good show on a Monday.
On a Monday, manic Monday, but we're gonna, make it, a fun Monday for everybody. We're gonna have an open agenda, audience participation type show, and again, Kurt will be with us shortly. That being said, we're gonna get it going with the little next week's 4th of July. Summer's here. We're gonna get it started with Paul this evening, and he's gonna have a little fun little uh, sports entertainment type of segment for us. So, Paul, take it away, my friend.
Thanks, Kenny. Like Kenny just said, summer's starting. Last week was the first day, July 4th, right around the corner. So, what's a better way to start our show than having a little summer rapid fire questions, sports slash entertainment, pop culture kind of thing? So, I'm going to ask you guys back and forth each question. So, let's start off. Carson, you'll be the first. What's your favorite summer holiday? Memorial
Hey,
Day, Independence Day, Labor Day, or the first football game of the preseason schedule?
wow. I'm going to say, it's going to shock you guys. I'm going to say Labor Day only because that's when me and my friends do our fantasy football draft every year. So I'll say Labor Day.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. Good one. Kenny?
All of the above, but I gotta go Memorial Day because Kurt's brother Ryan and a few of my friends growing up, we used to rent a summer house every year we did it for 3 years straight, and we would go down mostly on weekends, but some have the whole summer every weekend, and obviously you take a vacation, you have the whole week down there. So spending the whole summer at the Jersey Shore as opposed to just a week started in Memorial Day weekend. So Memorial Day
Nice.
weekend for me would be
Okay.
my favorite.
To be different, I'll say July 4th, Independence Day. I like the Americana and patriotic and all of that stuff. We put flags and other uh, July 4th type of stuff around the house and
Nice.
outside in the yard. Second question, Kenny, do you shoot off fireworks? Yes or no?
No, but it's pretty much illegal in New Jersey. I've grown up. I know it's quick hitters, but quick funny story. Like we would always get the illegal Chinatown fireworks, and when we were kids, my friend Mark, Mark, and
Hmm.
he's listening now. I'm going to throw him under the bus. His dad used to always get fireworks, and Mark would sneak the fireworks out. And we had this old grumpy neighbor who you always used to yell at us for playing wiffle ball in the street, this and that. Well, we decided to throw a little magazine of fireworks in his mailbox. And you could
Oh
just
God.
imagine the echo of the sound and little troublemakers we were when we were growing up.
Nice.
But yeah,
Carson,
that's
could you
it.
believe Kenny was that bad of a troublemaker?
That's great.
And there's
Yeah.
Mark. He could probably relate. Remember his dad getting all the fireworks, Mark, sneaking them
That's
out.
funny.
Nice.
Carson, how about you?
What was the question? Oh, do I buy fireworks?
Yeah, do you shoot
When I
fireworks?
No, not really. My neighbors do it. We have like a big get together, and my neighbors put together like this party. So I don't personally buy fireworks, but me and my friends go over our neighbor's house and watch it every year.
Yeah, I'll tell a story to you guys off the air about fireworks. One
Mm.
July 4th, Luby
Well,
and I had to deal with.
let me get a
But I
couple hellos in, Paul.
Absolutely.
Mark saying hello, and yes, sir, absolutely. LOL about the mail.
Mhm.
And Jody's got a question. We'll get to that after this segment, Jody. But Jody wants to say hello. Denver
Hey,
Broncos
Jody.
up Tuesday and Friday nights. Catch out Keith, Jody, Trevor, and Albert doing all things Broncos. Great job that they do over there at Rocky Mountain Sports Network. Thanks for hanging out, Jody.
Okay. All right. Barbecue, propane or charcoal? Carson?
Oh, propane.
Kenny?
Charcoal.
Yeah. I started with charcoal. It was so much messier. I went to propane. I'm a propane guy now. So easy
Couple
peasy.
more hellos. Trevor saying, "Hey guys, on a Monday!"
Hey, Trevor.
Exclamation point! Happy birthday, Carson! So
Thanks,
first,
Trevor.
another birthday there from Trevor. Eddie Murphy saying, "I'll go to any fireworks as long as JPP isn't hosting." We all know
That's true.
JPP
Yeah.
shot off some fireworks and shot off his finger. Jason Pierre-Paul.
Yeah. Good point, Eddie. All right. Favorite barbecue food? Hamburger, cheeseburger, hot dog, chicken, steak, Kahlua pork, or spare ribs? Kenny? I was hoping Kurt would be here, but
I think he's getting ready to come in, Paul. So you may see him
All
in
right.
a minute. So you may have to
Okay.
ask him that question. But
yeah.
for me, I'll tell you what, cheeseburger, but pulled pork is up there. If you get pulled pork we had pulled pork on a smoker a couple weeks ago at my friend's house, and it
Love
was
it.
amazing. Yeah.
Love it. Carson?
Yeah, pulled pork. I like classic cheeseburger. Bratwursts are really good. I like that.
Oh, yeah.
So I'd say bratwurst.
Great.
Paul, let me get the interaction from the audience on that question. Eddie Murphy's going kielbasa. Kielbasa.
Yeah. Well,
now, is it kielbasi or kielbasa? How do you pronounce that one? Tomato? Kielbasi? Kielbasa. I always said kielbasi. How about you, Paul?
I would say kielbasa.
And Carson, is it kielbasi or kielbasa? So I'm the only one that's kielbasi. I bet you Kurt calls it kielbasi too. It might be a Garfield thing. Eddie's saying he hasn't had charcoal in like 20, 25 years, been propane since.
Yeah.
And Jody, the smoker, is my go-to.
There he is.
Hey, Kurt.
What's up?
Hey,
Kurt.
Kurt.
Perfect time
Happy
for this
early
question,
birthday,
Kurt.
Carson. Happy
Thanks,
early
Kurt.
birthday.
Appreciate it.
Kurt, an opening statement, and then Paul's doing a little summer segment for us. Little pop, not pop.
I
culture,
heard
but
the Kahlua pork. Get out of here with that.
That was
statement, Kurt.
just for you, Kurt.
I always think, does Kenny look frozen on everybody's screen? Oh, there he goes. He's back.
No.
Okay.
He's good.
Opening statement is 2 days away from the NBA draft. I'm sorry I'm late, guys. I had to do something for work.
No excuse.
Carson, early happy birthday.
Thanks, Kurt.
And I'm just excited. There's a lot of Nick rumors going around, so I'm excited for that. But I'm here and pumped up for you guys, and let's go.
All right. Next question. Do you guys go to a July 4th parade in your town or city? Kurt?
When I was younger, I always did. They actually did I think a Memorial Day parade. And I don't know if they did a July. No, they might have. I'm not sure, Kenny. You would probably know that better. I don't know if it was July 4th or I definitely think it was Memorial Day. So Memorial Day we did, not for July 4th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Carson?
You want Carson?
Yeah, not a
no, I'm
parade,
sorry.
but a get together. I'd say with my friends.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, Kenny.
It was Memorial Day, the parade. 4th of July, there was other towns, but we really never went for 4th of July. Kurt, I don't know if you did with your parents, but Memorial Day was big in our town, Paul. Big parade in our town.
Right.
That's
Good.
what I thought.
All right. Beach or lake? And I'll go first. I would have said 99.999% beach, but we have a lake literally less than 5 minutes from here. That's unbelievable. It's nice. It's close. It's clean. So I'm saying lake now, but Carson, lake or beach?
Yeah, I think if you live in Michigan, you better say lake. It's the Great Lakes state, so lake for sure.
Kenny?
Well, we're going to make a statement right now, live on the air. Next year, Kurt, we get Carson down to the beach and we see if he's going to say beach or lake after that. All joking aside, Kurt, They're saying the water is crystal clear. So let's hope by Saturday we don't get much rain, because the water is actually crystal clear in Wildwood, and you can see right through to your feet. And
Wow.
that's unusual for this time, for New Jersey. It's like almost like Caribbean clear. That's how clear
Wow.
the water is. Yeah.
Nice.
So I'm a beach guy, always been, like the surfing, the boogie board, and I'll still do that today. Almost 50 years old. If you give me a boogie board, I'll go out there in the waves. I could stay out there for an hour just in the water. Real quick, Paul, back to the fireworks question. Eddie's saying Garfield used to do a lot of parades. The parade question, I'm sorry, but now they don't even believe in fireworks in town. They set them off in September. Eddie's saying beach because I can see my feet most of the time, and the kids haven't peed in it yet for it to be dark. LOL.
Leave it to Eddie for that response.
And Mark's saying beach as well.
All right. Next question. What famous sports owner was born on the 4th of July? Kurt?
George Steinbrenner?
Yes, sir.
All
Good
right.
one.
And you didn't let me answer
Nice.
my question. My last
Oh,
one.
I'm sorry.
I'm going option C. Pool. When you're as white as I am, you go on that Beach Boys. If there's no tent, I'm in major trouble.
This is true. I forgot we had Casper the Friendly Ghost sitting there.
And
All
Eddie's
right.
saying,
Me all tented up, sunscreen. I'm ready.
Eddie's saying he's watched too many Jaws movies to go far in the ocean.
Yeah, I'll tell you, living in Florida for 10 years, don't think I didn't think of every time I went into that water in the Gulf that Jaws or some other large shark was lurking nearby. Believe me.
Yeah.
But good one. That was good. George Steinbrenner. All right. Favorite summertime movie. I'll just throw out a number of them, but it could be something else. Star Wars, Jaws, Jurassic Park, Animal House, Alien, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Independence Day, Grease, E.T., or some other. Kenny?
I got to go Jaws, even though Eddie said beach. Jaws is one of the movies. You can watch it all year round, but it's a summer movie for me. I like Jaws. Mark's with the boogie down. Me and him would boogie down the shore with the boogie boards. Me and Mark with the boogie boards down the shore for sure.
Nice.
No, Jaws for me. I would go Jaws.
All right, Kurt?
Out of that group, I'd go Grease.
Nice. Carson?
I'll say E.T.
Yeah. I'm going to say Alien. I remember when that movie came out and that first scene just shocked if we were on later, I'd say something else, the crap out of me. So if you've never seen that movie, the original Alien, that was unbelievable.
Eddie's
All right.
on Jaws, the Jaws train with me.
Jaws. Yeah, nice. Favorite summertime beverage? Beer, wine cooler, cocktail, pina colada, any other adult kind of drink, iced tea or something else. Carson?
I'm going to say Slurpees from 7-Eleven.
Nice.
Off the board, yep.
Nice. Kurt?
Well, I wish I could drink iced tea, but iced tea gives me all kind of bladder issues. So iced tea, I haven't had I used to drink like 6 iced teas a day. Not good, overactive bladder. No, I haven't had an iced tea seriously in about 6 years. But that was hands down my first. I like the Slurp. You know what else I like, Carson? Oh my God, I can't think of the name. Like a Sonic
Slushy.
Yeah, like a Sonic slushy. But
get that brain freeze.
Yeah. So you know what? Yeah, give me a nice watermelon Sonic slushy and as a beer. And like I'm a Coors Light guy, so I'll take a Coors Light beer. But I'm down for like a cherry or watermelon slushy.
Mm-hmm.
Nice, Kenny.
Nope. And I'll be having a few this week that we're going down the shore. Kurt, give me a nice pina colada on a hot summer day.
Okay. Nice.
Couple comments there, Paul. E.T. phone home for Jody. Sonic Ice is the best.
Eddie Murphy.
Sonic Ice, he's saying. And then real quick, Paul, the story about the slushies. Kurt and I used to coach Little League Baseball. And Kurt, by the way, you got a lot of problems. Overactive bladder and too white in the sun.
49, baby, 49.
Yes.
A lot of problems.
Jen
there.
has her hands full.
I'm joking, Kurt.
No, you know
real funny 30-second story or less. We used to coach Little League, and we had the slush puppies, they were called. And I used to love the lemon lime slush puppies. But they would let us go run the scoreboard upstairs. And, so I would go up there for the bigger games, if Kurt's team was playing, because they were fighting for us for first place. And if they were playing a good team, I would go up there with the slushies, but we would sneak in a little vodka and put the vodka in. Kurt remembers that.
Nice.
I never did that. I don't know who's watching. I never did that.
This is like True Confessions today,
Yeah.
with his fireworks and his vodka. Anything else you want to tell us, Kenny?
Yeah, no, all joking aside, that was funny. But here's one from Mark, and I didn't notice. Thanks for sharing this, Mark. Mark Jr. was born on the 4th of July, so now I have to buy fireworks for him so he could set them off.
Nice. All right. This is a Kenny question. All right. Because he's so musically inclined. All right. Kenny, listening? All right. Here's the line. Summer's here and the time is right for blank in the streets. And I'll give you four choices: singing, playing, opening fire hydrants, or dancing.
Dancing.
That's it.
Oh boy, Kenny. Oh boy.
In the Bronx, it's opening fire hydrants, but
Couple comments. Jody's going Miller Lite with tomato juice, Kurt.
Never heard that.
whoa. Wow.
Eddie's going to have a Hawk Tua in Wildwood. That's rated R stuff, LOL. I don't know that. Is that a type? Going to have a Hawk Tua. That's it. Say, read that right, Kurt?
Oh,
it's a Twitter meme. It's I know what Eddie means. It's an
I just saw that
joke. It's an adult joke for a for a guy.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
funny, Eddie.
And then explains why Kurt is always wobbling down the third base coaching box. LOL.
Not me. I didn't do that stuff with the vodka and the slushy. No.
All right. 2 more quick questions. Favorite summer ice cream: frozen custard, Mr. Softy, Baskin Robbins, Good Humor, Carvel, or something else? Kurt?
Dairy Queen.
Dairy Queen. All right. There you go. Carson?
Yeah, like a sorbet is nice. I like Italian ice or sorbets or anything like that.
Okay. Kenny?
We definitely got to get Carson up to by our neck of the woods, Kurt. Clyde's.
Oh, Clyde's, yeah.
Clyde's Italian ice is homemade.
Nice.
No, for me, it's Mr. Softy as a kid, Paul, but Core Brothers as an adult down in Wildwood. Core Brothers, there's nothing like it.
Is that the
frozen custard?
Right.
Soft cone with soft chocolate ice cream with chocolate sprinkles on a cone, cake cone. Oh, it's nothing beats it.
Is that the one that Luby had? That one that I was telling you about? Was that the
maybe.
Okay.
Eddie's going mint chocolate chip, and he's saying Mr. Softy says best milkshakes.
Okay. Kurt, you were going to say something?
Yeah, I'm a Rita's. Carson, you got Rita's Italian ice by you down there?
At the stores we do, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big Rita's Italian ice.
Those are good.
Nice. All right. Finally, my last question. So, summer romances. Okay, it's summer. How sweet, how cute. Like Sandy and Danny from Grease. Kurt mentioned Grease. So there's a budding romance this summer in sports between a 72-year-old coach, Bill Belichick, and a 23-year-old cheerleader. Last year we had the summer romance, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. That was so yesterday. So anyway, this new romance is going on. Mark Schlereth, Kurt's friend, knows him so well, 3-time Super Bowl winner, broadcaster, analyst, comes out today and says about Bill Belichick, he says, he called him an absolute clown. He called him a pig. What is he doing? What's going on here? How could he do this? What are you doing? So I'm going to ask you guys, what do you think of this romance between 72-year-old Bill Belichick and 23-year-old, I think her name is Jordan Hudson, Carson?
Yeah, I mean, that's a 50-year-old age gap difference. I don't mind, older, younger, that's totally fine. I think the limit's probably 10 years, I'd say. Anything past that, it gets a little extreme. So, yeah, it's not nice to look at, no.
I'm glad you said 10 because Luby and I are 9 different years
Oh,
apart.
okay.
So
Nice.
that was perfect. Kenny?
Well, what's the saying? MILF, right? Was this girl a Godilf granddaughter?
Right, exactly.
Godilf? It's a little crazy. I mean, obviously she's probably out for the recognition to get herself noticed, and I don't see it lasting long. Eddie Murphy saying that's just nasty. She can be your granddaughter. Someone say living his best life, Jody.
Kurt?
I mean, that's like Carson said. There's just the difference is just insane. I mean, but you know what? Like, if you're Belichick, I mean, I don't know. I mean, how many people at 7 years?
Can you imagine?
First time Kurt's speechless.
I'm not gonna blame him. I mean, it's crazy and it's weird, but I mean, who's to say to him, don't go for her? I mean,
right.
You know what I mean? Like, that's my point. I mean, the odds are you're not gonna get a 24-year-old. You said, but hey, if he did, hey, good for him. But it is weird. It's weird.
But imagine the family get-togethers and the girlfriend meets the boyfriend's parents, and the boyfriend meets the girlfriend's parents. Oh yeah, this is my boyfriend, Mr. Bill Belichick. He's won multiple Super Bowls. That'd be crazy.
Carson, her parents could be Bill Belichick's
Yeah.
daughter and son.
Yeah, they could. Yeah. Man.
They could be like 45 years old or 48 years old, and that could be his son or daughter's age. So yeah, crazy. Yeah. Anyway, so that's my summer kickoff questions, and thanks, guys.
A couple comments. Jody saying, "What the heck do they talk about?"
Right.
Trevor saying Belichick is enjoying retirement. The NFL must have held him back. And Trevor's also saying, yeah, 50 years is a little much. I agree with Carson, laughing. And Keith Brugman, also from the Denver Bronco Roundup. Kurt, he joined you a couple of weeks ago. Check out the guys, Denver Bronco Roundup, Tuesday and Friday nights. Amazing show. Evening, I think Bill and his girlfriend are likely both getting what they want.
Yeah.
It's funny the topics that bring everybody out into the chat, and that was one of them.
Right. I thought it might. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, nice.
Great job, Paul. Good job.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Again, open agenda tonight. Kurt, do you want to go next? You usually start with quick hitters.
Yeah.
All big quick hitters tonight. Coincidentally, not planned. But obviously, I'm looking at the time and I'm like, man, we got 2 minutes left. No, we started 8:30. So we gotta have. Kurt, we'll go to you next.
Yeah, I got one question. Just one question, and I mean, we kind of spoke about it a lot, but I want to get your opinions. Again, I'll start with Carson. So we have the Florida Panthers. I believe it's 1-1 right now after first period. But listen, they're close about to blow a 3. I think it would be the second time ever in an NHL finals that a team blows a 3-0 lead, right? So I guess here's my question. Is there, and we're going to use that one as an example, Carson, I could even use Dan Campbell as an example, but not as much as, by the way, Tyrese Halliburton's on the screen on Raw. I want to throw my microphone at the screen. Anyway.
Maybe Uncle Howdy will get him tonight.
Yeah, you know what? Go get him, Uncle Howdy. Go get him, baby. So here's my question. A situation where you look and Dan Campbell had an unbelievable season, right? I mean, Carson, the Lions have not been good, have not been contenders. But what this guy did, listen, you got to give him credit, right? The Florida Panthers now, back-to-back Stanley Cup finals. Hey, tonight is still, you got to see how it's going to play out. But does something like blowing a 3-0 lead in a choke job, something like Dan Campbell, listen, bad decisions in an NFC championship game, can that something that can be, hey, we got to fire them because now, listen, those two coaches will find a job tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
But with a situation of you can't just blow a 3-0 lead.
Yeah.
Is it possible something like that changes an organization's mind and says, we have to fire this coach because of that, Carson?
Yeah, I think it depends on the coach and the circumstance of how many years he's been coaching for. And like I said, like Dan Campbell, he's a newly first-time coach, so he's going to make mistakes here and there. Yeah, I was upset when he, went for those conversions instead of kicking those field goals. And if that was the Super Bowl, I would be extremely upset. But yeah, I think it does. I don't know much details on the Panthers coach, but I think if he's been around the league for a while and they're right there and they end up blowing this tonight, I think that's definitely a question they can think about is, we're going to let you go. You were right there. You had everything going and you choked. You got to finish the job. You got to finish what you started. So I think, yeah, I'm with you, Kurt. I think it could be.
And another one was Missoula from Boston, right? There were rumors.
Yeah.
If you don't get to the finals, if they don't win. Now, you're talking about a Boston team. Would they win 64 games or something like that? Best team hands down. But listen, this is like now, and I like it. I really do. I really believe, again, windows are so small, but even a guy like, so again, throw really Campbell out because that's a little different. I'm going to really take Missoula and I'm going to take the Panthers coach. Those two, Kenny. If it didn't happen in Boston and if it don't happen tonight, does it change an organization say, listen, we got to let you go because of this?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you need a change. Jody, I forgot your question. I do want to remind, I'll get to that after Kurt's topic. And then Keith's got a good question too, because it is open agenda for the audience tonight, Kurt. So yeah, absolutely. And I'm going to give you two names that you didn't mention that should be gone and should have been gone, in my opinion. Aaron Boone should be gone in York because, and I don't care what anybody says, he is not a good manager. Okay. What has he done with a team that should be in the minimum World Series every year? He hasn't even gotten that team to the World Series. And your boy, Kyle Shanahan, blown it with the Falcons as a coordinator
and two Super
Bowls. Those are two guys on top of my list that should be gone. So yes, absolutely. If the Panthers blow this game, I think they do move on from the coach.
Paul?
Yeah, it's funny you brought this up because Kenny and I were talking the other day about this, and we mentioned that tonight was going to be Game 7. And I think I even said to Kenny, I said, if they blow this game, Paul Maurice has been a long time coach in the NHL. When I was watching the Rangers series against the Panthers, they said he has the most wins of any NHL coach that has never won a Stanley Cup. And I said, if they blow this after being in the finals last year and losing, I think without a doubt they make the change without question, because I think, what's the expression? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. I think if they should blow this after we're up 3-0, without a doubt, in my mind, you have to make a change organizationally.
But the thing that's crazy is if you think about, not 72 hours, but say 5-6 days ago, if we having this conversation, people would be like, you guys are nuts. Like, we're going to build a statue for this guy. And just like that, you go from hero to, hey,
zero.
This guy be fired? And it's crazy because Kenny made a great point. I love Kyle Shanahan, but I mean, let's be totally realistic now. Like, I know he wasn't the head coach, but 28-3 and that disaster in Atlanta. And last year, he definitely had the better team than Kansas City, right? You should have won that game. You really probably should have beat him the first time. So, when is enough to where you really have to say, now, again, all great coaches like Carson. So let me just throw this one out there. Scenario. This year, whether it's a Super Bowl and NFC Championship game, same thing happens. Same thing happens. Is there any or do you look and say, see, Carson's the perfect guy to look at because the Lions, like Dan Campbell to them is like, oh my God, like this guy brought them from nothing to legit contender. So it's a little harder, but as a fan, if you see this again, is there a doubt where you're saying we got to do something about this?
And again, like I'm in a weird situation because the Lions have never had success. I mean, last year was probably the best season the Lions have ever had in their franchise. I mean, winning a division title, you guys have all been through it multiple times. The Lions have never done it. So there isn't really, much to compare to. If Campbell makes stupid mistakes again when the game's on the line, then there might be some question marks. But it depends on the coach. It depends on how long he's been in the league, how many years he's been with the team, what talent he has around. I think talent, especially like you said with the Celtics, they paid Jaylen Brown $300 million. If they lost in the finals, Missoula was on the hot seat. So I think talent goes into factor, how many years coaching experience. But I think Dan Campbell's going to be here for a while.
All right. That was just Kenny. That was just, again, it's just, it's a curious thing because, we talk about it, but certain things can, besides like somebody like the guy, what was his name? Udoka getting in trouble and stuff like that. I mean, 5-6 days ago, you're talking about the Panthers winning a Stanley Cup and they're, and now tomorrow you could be talking about, is this guy going to get fired? It's crazy.
That's the pressure of winning.
Yeah.
Good topic. Kurt, I got a few comments, couple questions. I want to catch up on them since I'm doing the comments tonight. I don't care. I'm going PG-13 R-rated tonight because it's a funny comment from Jody back to Bill Belichick. She wants Bill Belichick's girlfriend wants old wrinkly balls. I figured that would be a laugh. Couple wrestling comments in there. Kurt, do you know the girl from Garfield is on from Raw? Is that Elmwood Park?
Elmwood Park,
where you're from.
Oh, she's not the girl from Elmwood Park. I believe he's talking about is Liv Morgan.
Full blondie. Okay, yep. Couple questions. Oh, Albert saying's up, y'all. One of the 4 horsemen, Denver Bronco Roundup, in the famous words of Kurt Valenti. Let's go.
Albert.
Eddie's saying he always knows the coach gets blamed, but these players get paid to win. All right, let's start with the questions, Paul. Back to Jody's at the beginning of the show. This one's for you. Let me find it. I forgot to put it in the queue. Just give me a second. Paul, thoughts on Edwin Diaz's 10-game suspension?
Yeah, listen, they know the rules. A couple of Mets last year was suspended for basically the same thing. He claims it was rosin and sweat, and he sweated a little more. I don't know. If there's smoke, there's fire. Like the umpiring crew said, they've been doing this 1,000 times. Something just says something smells wrong with this situation in terms of Diaz having something on his hand. So I'm going to tend to believe what the umpires are saying, though I will say this. It's so very subjective at times. There's no real hard, fast rule depending on the situation. I read today that somebody gets a chance to wash their hands and he didn't. And so, look, you take your chances, you pays the penalty. So it sucks that he's not going to be there for 10 games and they don't have a roster replacement for him, unfortunately. And that's the reality of the situation. And if he did do something and he got caught, then shame on him to putting the Mets in this situation over the next 10 games.
Yeah, good response there, Paul. I agree. We got 2 from Keith. I'm going to give the first one to Kurt and the second one to Carson. Okay. Kurt, Keith wants to know, what's Mike McCarthy still doing with a job?
Yeah, again, here's the thing. Right, with Mike McCarthy, again, you got to remember, what does Jerry Jones want, right? Does Jerry Jones really want a coach, or does Jerry Jones want somebody he's going to control? So that's the only difference over there, right? Mike McCarthy's okay with, okay, I'll listen to what you're going to do, Jerry, and I'll do whatever you want. I mean, there's not a lot of big time coaches that are gonna do that. So I think that's the problem over there, right? Like who's gonna go over there, right? If you're Kyle Shanahan, are you going over there to coach, or are you going over there and saying, I want full autonomy, I want to be able to do what I want to do? Like what other owner is a GM? So that's what I'm gonna say. Like he's like a puppet over there. So he's almost like an Aaron Boone. Like you're gonna get somebody, they're not gonna challenge the front office. They'll,
Yeah.
Still a good coach, but that's what he's doing. Why would Jerry Jones get rid of him? He could control him.
Yep.
Can I just put 2 cents in 10 seconds?
Yep.
I just read something just the other day, yesterday, that McCarthy is getting pissed off at Jerry Jones putting his 2 cents in. So it might get to the point where he might just say, you know what? I can't deal with this anymore, and decide, because they didn't renew him for even another year, no job security. He might say, you know what? The hell with it. I'm a good coach. I'm walking away after this year anyway.
Yeah.
Eddie was saying about the Met one there, Paul, that it was a rumor that Thomas Nito snitched because he used to catch him and he knew he had stuff on his hand. That's just
I heard that. I don't believe that.
Carson, this one's for you. It's a good one from Keith. Has to do with NBA, and I know we're going to segue into NBA right after this. So good one for you. Why does the NFL have good talent for rounds and rounds in a draft, but the NBA seems to have around 5 good players every year with a question mark?
Well, for one, there's way less rounds in the NBA draft. There's only 2 rounds, and most of them that are first rounders end up being stars, and that's just simply it. There's more of a sample size with the NFL because of the size of the rosters. There's 32 teams, 52 guys on a roster. So that's about 1,500 players in the NFL. So I think the sample size, it's way harder to succeed in the NBA than it is in the NFL, in my opinion.
Nice. Real quick, rapid fire, Kurt. How many years does a Super Bowl ring buy you from Jody?
As a coach?
Yeah, we'll say as a coach.
Again, I got to see what kind of team do I have? Do I have a dominant team? Right? Am I, look at
Bill Belichick, I guess that's how you got to look at it, right? Well, you give him 3 years.
Like Bill Belichick. I mean, I have no problem with that. I mean, what Bill Belichick did, I thought you meant like a Doug Peterson, like a guy like that.
Yeah, we'll say Doug Peterson. We'll go that route. 3 years.
I'd say 3 years.
Okay.
But a guy like Belichick, I mean, listen, I'm not. I don't know. I still would have him as the coach over, Mayo. That's me.
And the last comment before we get to Carson's topic, Jody saying Jerry Jones has screwed things up so bad with Dak and Lawrence. That's DeMarcus Lawrence over there. So, all right, I'm going to pass it off to Carson. I know you had a good little NBA topic, but not necessarily just NBA. We can do it all sports, but his definitely had to do with NBA. So I'm going to pass it off to him and let us.
Thanks, Kenny. This basically just happened today. I was on Twitter, and Adrian Wojnarowski, breaking news a couple hours ago. Scotty Barnes, NBA player, former Rookie of the Year, intends to sign a rookie contract extension, the max worth up to $270 million for Scotty Barnes, who currently in his career is averaging 16 points a game, along with 7 rebounds and 5 assists. So, fellas, is it getting to the point now where these contracts are getting so obscenely absurd that let's just throw, if we have a mediocre guy in our roster, but he's the best player, we're just going to give him $250 million. To me, it's just simply ludicrous. I want your guys' thoughts on this. And at this rate, if Scotty Barnes can get $250 million, we're on track to see the first $1 billion contract by an athlete, probably within the next 5 to 10 years, maybe even sooner than that. So what are your guys' thoughts on this? I know how some of you feel, but yeah, money obviously plays a big factor here. But for Scotty Barnes, Kurt, what do you think?
It's stupid. Like you said, it's stupid. And then here's what's going to happen. He'll get his money. Okay, he stayed in Toronto. In 2 years, they'll be booing him. they'll say nobody's going to want him because no one's going to want his contract, and they're going to say he's a bust. It happens all the time. They're talking about tonight. The guy, one of the guys on an ESPN, I was eating dinner, and the guy said, if you give Brandon Ingram $250 million, you're out of your mind. Like, Carson, you're right. It shouldn't just be everybody gets a max. It should be like LeBron gets a max.
Right.
Greek Freak gets a max. Steph Curry gets a max. But then those other guys shouldn't get a max. Like, I'm sorry, like Scotty Barnes should not get a max. No, stupid.
Yeah. And just to point this up, I know Rudy, we've had our good friend Rudy on the show talk about hockey, and he made a really good point. This is why the NHL is so great. You got Connor McDavid, who's probably the best hockey player in the world right now. Guess what his current salary is on the Edmonton Oilers? $12.5 million a year.
Yeah.
That is the best player in the world on the ice. And he is getting about 20% of the salary of Scotty Barnes, who is an okay player, but this is the best hockey player in the world versus a mediocre all-star, in my opinion, in Scotty Barnes. So that's just something to point out, and that's why the NHL has the best salary cap system out of all the pro sports by far, because it's real competition. The money doesn't get to their head, and they're freaking hockey players who I think they're the toughest, arguably the toughest athletes in sports right now. So, Paul, what are your thoughts on this Scotty Barnes crazy contract?
Yeah, I totally agree with Kurt. And the only thing else I can say is, could you imagine if Willie Mays was playing right now? I think he would be the first $1 billion player, because if Ohtani can make $700 million and what Willie Mays could do, I mean, he'd be a partner with any team that would sign him. So it's just gotten to the point where it's absolutely asinine. You're playing players like the Scotty Barnes. I'll even go so far. I mean, Trevor Lawrence. What the hell has Trevor Lawrence done to deserve $55 million a year, $200 million guaranteed? I mean, I'm sorry. I know he has potential. He's had potential the last 3-4 years, but is he worth $275 million or $255 million, whatever they were paying? No way.
Yeah.
And the only other thing I want to say about that is, did you see the other day where there were some owners that were talking about possibly doing a salary cap just for quarterbacks? I don't know if that would ever happen, but I think the owners already know and they see.
But can I just interject, Carson, for one thing? You know who else I blame, though, Paul? I'm going to be honest. I blame the Vikings. I blame the Giants. Because here's the thing.
Yeah, it's a comparison game, Kurt.
Right. Trevor Lawrence has to make more than Daniel Jones. A lot more. Trevor Lawrence has to make more than Kirk Cousins. Well, I'll even give you Kirk Cousins. But, you can't. When I take a C-rated quarterback and give him money, Trevor Lawrence has to make now more money because Daniel Jones got paid stupidly. Dak Prescott got paid stupidly. So now, I mean, how could somebody like Matt Stafford has to make $15 million more than Dak Prescott. How could he not? Probably $20 million. That's who I'm blaming, these stupid teams giving these guys money. That's I don't know, Carson, what's your thoughts on that?
No, I completely agree. Go for it, Paul. I was just going to say, the whole system is flawed. It should be based off of performance from the prior year. If you win a Super Bowl, you should get a bonus. You should get a bonus and get paid on your potential, and that's what's happening right now.
Exactly. The only other thing I want to add about the Scotty Barnes deal, I think the Knicks got off pretty good paying Jalen Brunson what they did.
Yeah.
That looks sweet deal right now.
Yeah.
Kenny, what's your thoughts on NBA contracts?
Just like everybody said, and just to catch up on some comments, Carson, before I get lost in the track here, Eddie's saying if Simmons got a max contract, anyone can get one. Michael Porter Jr., 5 years, $207 million. By the way, he was trying to give us Michael Porter Jr. for Randall yesterday there, Kurt. I told him, nope. It's crazy, Carson. I think, and you know what? We are going to see the first $1 billion player, and it's going to be a bidding war when Wembanyama is ready. And you're going to see it. If Wembanyama is healthy, he's going to be your first $1 billion player. And it's going to be a big market. I don't think San Antonio is going to be able to afford him. So here come the Lakers. Here come the Knicks. Here come maybe the Pistons have the money in Detroit, Carson.
There you
Maybe
go.
when that rookie contract's up, there's a bidding war, and we see LeBron from 20 years ago happen with Wembanyama in a few years. Kurt, you think I'm crazy with that statement? $1 billion contract, Wembanyama.
No.
Couple more. Lawrence averages 19 touchdowns, 13 a season. Dak is getting 60 or more from Jody. Eddie, I don't know about the NBA and salaries, but how do they choose how much a max a person should get? And last but not least, good friend, that PA scratcher guy, cap by position, question mark. What in the world?
APA.
What's up, PA? Thanks for hanging out on Kick there for us.
Yeah, but yeah, I just we were just open agenda that came on my news feed today. It's getting absurd, guys, because at this point, it sucks as fans too, because it affects everything else, merchandise, tickets to go to a game, and we've had this conversation before. I remember going to a Tiger game, my whole family with it was like a 5-ticket meal plan. It was $50 total, and that came with a hot dog and a soda. And now that same price is a couple $100 at least. So attending a sporting event is becoming a rich, wealthy class event, and it's because of these contracts. So thanks, guys.
Real funny, quick story. Well, PA's saying, and just by you bringing up hot dogs, Carson, so maybe I want to tell this quick story. But PA's saying $1 billion contract. Here come the $75 beers.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
And I'll tell you one thing. We all know Dave Portnoy does those Barstool Pizza reviews. Well, he's got a guy who works for him called Frank the Tank. He's a big Met fan. Paul.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hot dog reviews. So I was just listening to some of them the other day, and he was doing some ballpark. I was watching his ballpark reviews, and we all know Nathan's hot dogs. Apparently, and I won't say the stadium. I don't remember the stadium. That's why I'm not going to say it. But apparently, a stadium was serving Nathan's hot dogs, but they weren't Nathan's hot dogs. Nathan's name on them.
Wow.
But a generic brand, a cheap brand, a hot dog, it definitely wasn't Nathan's. And you're paying for the Nathan's name at the stadiums, the Nathan sponsors or whatever, and they don't even serve their hot dogs.
Wow.
And,
Surprised they haven't sued them.
Right. Yeah, it's a lawsuit.
Yeah.
That's according to Frank the Tank, big hot dog review guy.
Interesting.
And then Jody's saying TV deals is what is causing these huge deals.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So anything else, Carson, with the contracts?
No, I think that's it. And we'll see what happens. Like in free agency, NBA comes up a couple weeks. Don't be surprised if somebody gets a crazy contract. You watch.
PA's taking Kunzler over Nathan's. I'm going New Jersey Dumans, and I'm going to get Paul into Ruts Hutter Hospital.
I'm looking forward to it, Kenny.
Carson, real quick, have you been to the two famous places in Detroit that are right next to each other?
Oh, yeah. Lafayette and American Coney Island.
Yeah,
that's
like
debate in Michigan. Like, what's
pretty,
better? I have
pretty
it
cool
really
that
good.
They're right next. Do you have a preference, or are they both very similar?
I would say Lafayette, but yeah, if you come to Michigan, you got to visit the Coney Island places in Detroit. Nice. Yeah.
One comment from Keith, and then we'll move on, guys. We got about 10 to 15 minutes left. Problem with NFL, at least, when they went on strike, we all still watched. We love our sports too much to get a change in prices, he's saying. Jody wants to know, will the Super Bowl ever be pay-per-view? I think so. I'll answer that one. It's a rapid fire. I think so. Carson, have you been to Mama's Spaghetti, whatever it's called, LOL?
Oh, the M&M's restaurant. I have not. I've walked past it, but haven't eaten there yet. So it's M&M's restaurant. It's really expensive, but it's a tourist attraction item. I think he's got like 3 things on the menu, and it's like grilled cheese with spaghetti and meatballs, and like a spaghetti sub. That's like the only 3 things you can get there. So
I would do a spaghetti sub.
Yeah,
that sounds good.
Yep. So
I gotta tell Jen to make me that. I like
it. Right. I'm gonna do a little fun one for Kurt, since he didn't do a fun one for me tonight.
You got lucky, Kenny. That was busy tonight. You got very lucky.
So, we're gonna keep the tradition going, and this time I'm gonna get Kurt. You guys can play along too in the audience, but this one's for Kurt. I'm gonna do a couple questions for you, Kurt. First one I have for you. You ready?
Yep.
Common sense questions. Why can't a man living in the United States be buried in Canada?
Say that again.
Why can't a man living in the United States be
Because
buried?
he's not living; he's dead.
That's funny.
Very good. Very
Yeah.
good. You got the warm up one.
Okay.
Okay. And let's see, where is it? What was the president's name in 1975, Kurt?
Nixon.
The same as it is now.
Nice.
I don't get it.
Kurt still don't get it.
Say it again.
His name was the same in 75 as it is now.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. Good.
All right, one more, and then I got a fun one.
Wasn't
for
it
you.
Nixon though in '75?
Probably.
Look
I
it
don't
up.
know. Probably
All
not.
right, one more for you. I want to.
It was four.
What kind of tree?
Whoa.
What kind of
Yeah.
tree? A little riddle for you, Kurt. What kind of tree can you carry in your hand?
What kind of tree can you carry in your hand? You can't.
Palm tree.
Can I?
PA saying it was Ford in 75.
yeah.
Yeah.
And one more for you, Kurt. You got paper and pen? 'Cause
Yes,
you don't
I
have
do.
coins in front of you. I forgot to do this one. I want to do with you, and you guys can play
Okay.
along. All right.
Yeah.
We're supposed to do this with coins, so hopefully this will work with paper. Okay.
Yeah.
I want you to write down these names:
Yep.
Bob.
Oh, hold on. Pen's not working. There you go.
Okay. Underneath it, I want in 3 columns. I want penny,
Okay.
nickel, and quarter. Okay, so you got Bob on top, and then you got penny, nickel, quarter, 3 columns, right?
Yep.
All right, so here's the scenario. Bob's mom had 3 children. Okay, youngest one is on the left-hand side. What was its name? What was the name of the one on the left-hand side?
Penny.
Very good. So remember, Bob's mom had 3 children. Okay, so
Yeah.
the second one in the middle. So the youngest is Penny. The middle child is who?
Nickel.
Or for short, we'll say Nick. Okay, does that sound good?
Yep.
Okay. So Bob's mom had 3 children. In the third column, what would the person's name be in the third column?
The third name would be. It's not going to be quarter because that's where it's the joke. So. Q.
Q? No, it's Bob, Kurt.
Eh,
There you
Now
go.
you're back. Touche. I knew
There
I'd
you
get
go.
on
I
that.
like it. You got me on that. Very good.
Nice, Kenny.
All right. There's my little
I knew it
common
wasn't quarter,
Mm,
but I didn't think that would.
sense. We got one from Keith for all of us. You ready, guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
The pretty girl, the jock, the nerd, the rebel, and the recluse. What Breakfast Club archetype were you in high school, boys?
Oh,
Everyone
boy.
remember the Breakfast Club? Did we all see the
Right.
Breakfast Club?
yeah.
Right.
I was the jock.
Me
Well,
too.
no.
What was it?
The pretty girl, the jock, the nerd, the rebel, and the recluse. I definitely wasn't the pretty girl or the recluse, not just because they were good. That wasn't that type. The
Yeah.
nerd, definitely not the nerd.
I would say, yeah, I would say jock out of elimination
Mm-hmm.
for me.
Maybe the rebel for me, right,
Mm.
Kurt?
Yeah, you were a little rough. Not me. You.
Paul, what were you? And Carson, what were you?
I guess I would say the jock. I wasn't. I
Yeah.
don't consider myself a nerd, and I'm definitely not a recluse.
Right. Yeah, I like a combination of all of them, I'll say.
That's a good one. Yeah. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe I was a little rebel and nerd type, like just but didn't, nerd with the Meadowlands programs, not the
Mhm.
not the books. They're going there, Keith. Good one.
Nice.
I got one more for you guys. well, PA was a mixture of jock, rebel, and nerd. Kurt,
Nice.
one more topic. This is a fun one for everybody.
Okay.
Audience play along. I heard this and I got this idea from CBS Sports Radio, so I want to give them the rightful recognition. And I'm changing it up a little bit. So if you could bring back a famous player past who's either retired or deceased and watch any sport and watch them play one more game, one athlete, one more game, who would it be and who would it be against? I'll start off because I had two, but I'm going to go this way. I'm going to go Babe Ruth. And because of a story I heard about him most recently, I would just love to see him play one game, but he was pitching one game and he was arguing balls and strikes with the umpire, and the umpire threw him out. Babe Ruth went up to the umpire and punched him in the face. Can you imagine Angel Hernandez back then umpiring
There you
Babe
go.
Ruth? What he would do to Angel Hernandez? And I would love to see him play against the Red Sox. So that would be mine. Jody's going Michael Jordan versus Larry Bird.
Nice.
Albert Bruce Lee against Jet Li. Eddie Murphy would like to see Jackie Robinson break the color barrier. Good ones, guys.
Nice.
I'll go to Kurt next.
You know, I bet you guys all would say I'm going to say John Elway and Peyton Manning, but you know what? I'm not, because I don't want them to come. I want how they went out is the best way to go out. Winning a Super Bowl, being a champion. So I'm not going to be greedy. I'm not going to be selfish. I don't want to see it. I love the way that ended. But you know what I'm going to do? And I just saw this blank bag on Raw before. Tyrese Halliburton. So you know what? Josh Hart, just give me that number 3 one more game and put it on John Starks. And give me John Starks in a playoff game against those blank bags from Indiana. This team, give me Halliburton. What's the other guy's name? McConnell. Give me all those guys and give me Starks just headbutting them. Give me in the face. Give me Starks versus the Pacers. That's what
Love
I
it,
want.
Kurt.
Nice.
Love it. We'll go to Carson next.
Yeah, I think greatness. I wish I saw Muhammad Ali fight. The people I've talked to, the people in the boxing world, just said how great he is. And, you know, Floyd Money Mayweather, I would love to see Muhammad Ali take on Floyd Mayweather. That would be awesome.
Yeah, no, good ones, guys. We're going to get to Keats in a second. Keats going to go Kobe Bryant, any game, any opponent. Good one,
Nice.
Keith.
Yeah.
And good ones from the audience as well. I like everybody's. Formula One racing from Albert Knoppers. Ayrton Senna, if I'm saying that right. Ayrton Senna versus Jenson Button, Formula One. Paul, where are you going?
All right. I may sound like a homer here, but this guy and the other guy I'm going to mention have been named maybe the top 1 or 2 best GOATs of all time in the NFL. And I would have loved to see LT come back maybe in a Super Bowl against Tom Brady and go after him for 60 minutes. That would be, in my mind, one of the great matchups of all time. And if I can see LT come back and do that in a Super Bowl against arguably the GOAT, that would be phenomenal.
That's
Nice.
awesome. I'd like that. No hockey from anybody. Maybe Wayne Gretzky. You know, put him on the Oilers tonight. Get him on the Oilers tonight. Game 7, right?
There you go.
With Connor, put him on side of Connor McDavid. Woo. And Messier. That'd be dangerous. Dangerous team there. So no, it was a fun little question. Keith's got one more. Kurt, we'll let you answer, Paul, since you had this question at the beginning. Keith joined a little late, so it's very similar to one of your questions. What song signifies summer more than any other song for you, Paul?
I think it's got to be a Beach Boys song. I mean, when you think of some of the Beach Boys songs, California Girls, Fun, Fun, Fun. There was another song. Actually, I had it written down here. Hold on a second. Surfing Safari. So I would say one of those Beach Boy type songs would be a good summer song as far as I'm concerned.
Beach Boys sound summer. You know who's a newer feel for summer? Zach Brown Band. I get that summer feel from Zach Brown. Some of his songs like Chicken Fried and all that stuff. That spells summer for me. You guys got anything summer, Kurt and Carson? Or
Go ahead, Carson.
Yeah, growing up, it was "Party in the USA" by Miley Cyrus. That's summer to me.
And I got one, Kenny, and I'm not going to go summer. I'm going to go more spring. But it's actually funny because me and Jen were just talking about this the other day. I played it, and I said, to me, brings back memories. 8th grade, Kenny. I know Briggsy's watching from up above. Freestyle, Stevie B, Spring Love. That's the song. That's the song.
Good one. Kate's
Nice.
got one more good one about the previous question. Jim Thorpe, I would love to see in any capacity.
Yeah, he was a beast. Yeah.
So that was a fun little question. I wanted to give props to CBS Sports Radio. So,
Yeah.
you know, I said I'm going to bring that up on the show. I thought that was a fun one and good interaction from the audience. Does anybody else have anything for their open agenda before we get to closing comments? We're just over the hour mark, so we're doing great, guys. Kurt, want to get some final thoughts in?
Yeah, final thoughts again. It's listen, first off, again, Carson, happy birthday tomorrow.
Thanks, Kurt.
Well deserved. And listen, I can't wait to see what the Knicks do in the next 3 weeks. You know, we're this close, man, this close to really being able to say we can win an NBA championship, and we haven't had that in a long time. And it's something that, you know, we can't mess with. So I trust Leon Rose. Go get this second guy, man, in the playoff to where Brunson can hand it to him and go get a basket. We don't have to run a play. Go get a You saw it with Tatum and Brown, right? You saw it with Doncic and Kyrie. I just fear it's Kenny. I know you're going to maybe shake your head, but it's not Julius Randle. And until we fix that problem, and the faster we fix it, the faster we can really say we're an NBA championship contender. So I hope it's the next couple of weeks. But everybody enjoy. Happy 4th of July to everybody. And great show. Carson.
Yeah, great show as always, guys. Enjoy the holiday week next week. And yeah, Pistons on the clock a couple days from now. We'll see what happens. I really like Montez Bazulis, so I'll send you guys a video if we end up drafting him because I'll go nuts. So I'm hoping we take him and yeah, enjoy the next couple weeks. We got college football right around the corner, about a couple months away, NFL, all kinds of fun stuff. The Olympics coming up, which will be fun to see. So good stuff.
Carson, I saw a rumor tonight. Pistons interested in, give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down as a free agent. Pistons interested in Tobias Harris.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of reports about that too. Former Piston. Yeah, I think we're going to overpay him by a lot, though, if we brought him back. So if the price is right, sure, but I think we'd have to overpay for him. So kind of like wishy-washy on it.
And I also heard somebody say today that the Pistons are 1 or 2 legit vets away from, you know, being a very competitive team. If you brought a couple of real vets onto that team, agree or disagree?
I don't think Jesus could save this team. That's how bad we are.
Kenny, before I get to your final thought, I'm going to leave this one for you because
Kurt, can I just quickly interject?
Sure.
I just saw something today. I wasn't going to mention it, but that sort of reminded me. I saw over the last 10 years, the percentages of teams in MLB, MLB, basketball, and football. And number 30, Misery Loves Company, were the Giants and the Pistons, and I forget the baseball team, have the worst percentages over the last 10 years. So don't feel too bad, Carson.
Okay, gotcha.
Another quick hitter for you. When do you think the Pistons hire their head coach?
Wow. It should be. I mean, the draft is Wednesday, so it's not going to be before the draft. Probably somewhere around free agency, so maybe next week or the week after that.
Okay. Kenny, before I get your final thoughts, I'm going to ask you to answer it from Jody. Michael Porter Jr. for Randall.
No, I answered this yesterday. Absolutely not. 25-9 from Randall. I want a superstar in return. I'm not going to get Kevin Durant for Randall straight up, but I don't want Michael Porter Jr. for Randall.
All right, next one, Kenny. Paul George for Randall.
Yes.
Okay. Final thoughts.
Final thoughts, real quick. I want to go back to Carson, PA Scratcher guy saying, even though I'll see you tomorrow, Carson, happy birthday. Carson, 2 plugs I want from you. 1, your sports show, and 2, where you're going to be tomorrow, where we had a lot of interaction tonight. So where can we find you on your birthday?
Sure. Yeah. Thanks, Kenny. Sports talk show channel started about a year ago, I want to say, the Carson Shear Show. You can find me talking about sports, anything news that breaks, mostly Detroit stuff, but any big time worldwide news happens, I talk about it, give my reactions to. Tomorrow we're doing like a birthday live stream, casino night extravaganza on Ticket Time Live on YouTube. That's where I'll be tomorrow for my 25th birthday, quarter of a century old.
And once again, happy birthday, Carson, from us, from
Thanks.
audience and everybody here. You're going to have a good time. Hopefully you have some fun tomorrow on your stream, which I know you will. But final thoughts, Kurt. Draft tomorrow, and the Knicks are actually rumored for that pick too, Carson. But I think a guy I would like for your Pistons would be Jonathan Clingan from UConn. 7'3". I think he fits like that Chet Holmgren type, and I think the Pistons might be intrigued on him. So watch out for that name. And if you got him, I would be very happy if I was a Pistons fan. But I think the Knicks are going to go center, Kurt. Zach Edey's rumored. We'll see.
Where are you guys picking? What pick do you guys have?
24, 25.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you guys can get 2 legit.
We're probably going to move. Yeah. I would think a move up would be the best thing for the Knicks to do. Get 2 for the price of 1 there. Move up a few spots. But real quick, guys, we're taking next week off with the holidays. So like Kurt said, I want to wish everybody a happy 4th of July. We will be back the week after. Kurt and I will probably post some videos up here and there for what we're doing down the shore, maybe our competitions that we're doing, maybe some arcade claw games.
Carson, real quick, just for the record, Kenny wanted to have a competition when we went down Memorial Day. We did the clowns, we did the plates, we did basketball. Nice. It didn't go well for him. So he's got a lot of work.
There you go.
Him and Jen, it didn't go well for.
Kurt said it was preseason, so you know what? You don't show everything in preseason. You hold back.
Nice. I got a little breaking news.
Have a happy
breaking news. So the Tigers just lost to the Phillies 8-1, but during the game, the Phillies recorded a 1-3-5 triple play. That's the first time that's happened since 1929. So almost 100 years since that play happened.
1-3-5. So a line drive to the pitcher.
Yeah,
to first and then to third.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, thank you. You too. He's saying have a happy, safe, and 4th of July. But yes, we will be back the week after, guys. So tune in for some special videos from Wildwood, New Jersey, from Mr. Valenti.
Yes,
nice.
Sir.
That'll be fun.
And last but not least, Mr. Paul Rosen.
Thank you, Kurt. Great show, guys. Again, Carson, have a very happy birthday.
Thanks,
and by the way, you're too young for Jordan Hudson. So sorry about that. Anyway, great show, a lot of fun. We'll miss everyone next week. Have a very safe and joyous holiday next week, and we'll see you guys back the following week.
Have a good one.
Have a good one, guys.